Good afternoon, everybody. So we're back again this Friday. Myself, Colonel Gadio, with Colonel Ashokan and Colonel Chahal.
Good afternoon.
To take on from where we left last time. Last time we had a good discussion on some issues of the geopolitics. Then we showed you a picture where we wanted you all to apply your mind and work on that to make a story. So we'll take it on from there. I hope you all could write a story on what you saw last week. Pictures. So these are typical pictures which could be shown in the screening test. So it's little different than the TAT because they're shown in a transparency. There's a little bit of ambiguity in that. Fine. So you may find those not too clear. Fine. So with that, you're supposed to make a perception box, mark the characters in that, fine, write the gender, age, etc., and then write a story.
So you will find many times, there are many characters, just adding on to what Sir has said, there could be many characters in a picture. So you will have a confusion in the perception box, आप कितनी characters को लिखना है, तो आपको maximum 2 or 3 characters लिखने से ठीक रहेगा क्योंकि आप 10 character को लिखते रहेंगे तो उसी में आपकी टाइम वेस्ट हो जाता है. सो आइडियली आप मेन कैरेक्टर को भी लिखेंगे और उसके साथ में 2 एक्स्ट्रा कैरेक्टर और मैक्सिमम 4 कैरेक्टर्स एज पर यू विश आप उसमें ऐड कर सकते हैं. एंड व्हेन यू नो मेक द परसेप्शन बॉक्स, उसमें आपको कैरेक्टर्स के लिए कभी कभी कोई प्लस पॉइंट डालते हैं या 0 डाल देते हैं, उसमें राउंड डालते हैं. देन यू विल हैव टू से 3 थिंग्स विच विल बी टोल्ड टू यू बाय द साइकोलॉजिस्ट. आपको बोलेंगे उनकी एज बोलो, जेंडर बोलो, कौन सा जेंडर आपको लग रहा है, और उनकी
attitude. We got from Amit. He says the picture that you showed previous week is a marketplace which are huge, like you were saying, it could have a large number of people. Could be a marketplace, could be a stadium, could be a mela, could be a team playing a football, something like that. How do you identify the main character? Yeah.
You see, this is a very, very pertinent question which a lot of times we get these kind of common questions. So suppose say there is, like I was just talking about the same kind of scenario only. अगर मान लो आपको जो पिक्चर में बहुत लोग हैं, तो how do you identify the main character? Is one way of identifying is to see which character you feel prominent there. Say there could be a man or a female, but it's a hazy picture, so इसकी age वगैरह इतनी clarity नहीं मिलेगा. लेकिन since you are a youngster, preferable would be to take a character which is generally of your age group. Also, you may like to see, if you are a male, preference would be to take a male main character, or if you are a female, it would be ideal for you to take a female character. However, it is not a must, it's not a necessity that आपको मेल ही लेना है for a male, ऐसे भी नहीं है. लेकिन preferably you may like to take a personality there, any figure which is of somewhere near your age group, and also you would like to see connecting with the background. So first thing you should see the background, then you would connect the main character, how the main character is merging with the main background. And you also should see how prominently he would be there, and you have to put yourself in the place of the main character.
See, it's got to be see what action is taking place, and in that, what is the role that main character plays? Very, very important. See, because he is the lead character of your story, that he should be able to conceive maybe in his mind what needs to be done. He should have an idea how to do that particular action well, and there should be some sense of achievement. So that all that is something which should be going on in your mind when you choose the theme, character, etc.
Also see, like you mentioned in your question, that if it is a marketplace and there are a lot of people there, different types of people, कोई रेड़े को धक्का लगा रहा है, कोई पैदल चल रहा है, कोई बाइक पे जा रहा है, somebody sitting outside the shop. So there are all kinds of people there. So specifically to put yourself into that frame and identify yourself with one of those people, it would be ideal to ask yourself with whom can I relate better, and make sure that the person that you relate with is an empowered person. अगर आप उसमें मान लो कुछ लोग जो पैदल चल के जा रहे हैं. Let's say that you as a student have undertaken some project where you carrying out a survey of the market along with maybe 2 other friends of yours. तो जो उसमें पैदल चल के लोग जा रहे हैं, you could identify yourself as one of those youngsters who's walking through that street and who is carrying out this survey about some particular thing in that marketplace. So make sure that the purpose that you create for your main character is meaningful, right? So it could be something like abhi Diwali aane wali hai, so you could be talking about the issue of hygiene and cleanliness. You could be from the food safety security organization. Maybe you've gone for survey or you've gone for checking whether the market is hygienic, the sweets that are being prepared are hygienic or not. You could well be a shopkeeper who could now think of something who would be able to maybe regulate the traffic better or make sure that the footfall in his shop becomes better, or maybe wants to modernize his shop. You could well be a youngster whose father owns a shop there, and now you could ask yourself, what could I do to promote my father's business? Maybe during the summer vacation you've gone to help him out. So you could be any of these characters in that busy marketplace, and when you identify yourself as that person, when you're marking the perception box, in that you could put this person, this youngster, as your main character, and there'll be 2 to 3 other characters who are kind of supporting him in his venture. So that is what could be done when you have a big marketplace, but make sure that the character that you choose should be most prominently visible in the picture. It should not happen that you pick up a character who's in the far background. So जो भी आपको prominent लग रहा है in the foreground of that picture, pick up that person who's more active, pick up that person as your main character who will be able to do something meaningful in that zone.
So like Kalachal talked of the festive season coming now, and the old shopkeepers would like more footfall, so they do up their shops. Also, when they do up the shop, there are issues in the marketplace where there are a lot of hawkers. The footpath is occupied by those hawkers and people can't walk those. So as a group of shopkeepers, as a kind of a union or whatever of the shopkeepers, you contribute some money to hire 1 or 2 guard security people to organize good parking, to give a place for the hawkers, so that the footfall increases, the consumer feels benefited, and the sales growth. That is something which is going to be good for everybody in the market. So something like that, where you conceive an idea, where you can how you improve the conditions there with the purpose of generating maybe better footfall.
So one small point that I would like to highlight, that a lot of candidates would write preconceived stories. I mean, similar to what Colonel Gadog has just said, they would not try and put themselves there, but they would have read some such story which he has just mentioned, and they will ditto write that over there, and it may not really classically relate with the picture that was shown.
That is what we say coast response.
Yeah, मतलब उसमें अगर गंदगी नजर ही नहीं आ रही and you're creating a Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, there is something wrong. If the place is not so crowded and you're talking about parking ka issue, it naturally shows that you're carrying a story that you're trying to put
this
onto this
happens
picture.
the moment this is a market,
Yeah.
that preconceived idea comes to your mind,
हाँ.
and without thinking they start writing.
They
that.
start writing.
It should emerge from what you see.
What
There's
you
a
see,
question
very
from
very important.
Amit Kumar, I am from Hindi medium student, so I want to join the SSB batch. Amit, good. See,
Okay.
I mean, Hindi medium or English medium is already. So what put the personality?
Sure.
Yes, you can speak some English. English and Hindi are all permissible, so long as you can express yourself well. You're logical about what you're saying. You have confidence. All those things are more important than the language that you use. Yes, English, Hindi, दोनों मिला के भी चलेगा.
लेकिन लिखते समय आपको इंग्लिश लिखना पड़ेगा.
Yeah, see the
Okay.
psychological dossier, you have to write those 10-12 pages. They generally.
So it would be a good idea. You start writing down every day as a practice. It would be a good idea even to write diary writing also, so that your thoughts you should be able to translate into English, because we all have an issue. We think in our mother tongue, all of us for that matter. Or since English is not our mother tongue, so naturally we will be thinking, suppose say you are a Hindi belt, you will think in Hindi, then you are translating that. Instantaneously we like to translate, but agar correct words nahi hai dimag pe, you don't have the right word to translate that thought, what will happen? you will not be able to write it properly. You will start beating around the bush, and you are not able to express yourself well when you speak also, when you write also. So it would be a good idea to start practicing right now only. बात करते समय आप हिंदी इंग्लिश मिक्स करके बोल सकता है, लेकिन you should not stammer. You should not be gaps in your communication. But when you write down, you will have to write English. Simple English is expected, but without much of grammar mistakes. वो उसके लिए
Ankit
आपको
also
practice
wants to
करना
know the
पड़ेगा.
batch details. Ankit, we start a batch every Monday. It's for 2 weeks, and the strength can be, see, it can be 50, can be 60, can be 70, but we divide it into smaller groups of 10, 15 for participation in various activities, right? But that's how the batch for you, for the functional batch will be 10 to 15. The people reporting maybe 50, 60, 70.
So he also wants to know the when is the next batch which is going to commence.
Yeah, we start
So
every
just to
Monday.
tell you that we take a batch every Monday, and the duration of this course is 2 weeks.
Because there are 2 courses leapfrogging.
Yeah.
So it is a full day program. Classes are from morning 9 to about 5:36 in the evening in the institute, and then you all will go back to your hostel location, where again we have very nice areas where you can sit down and carry out your GDs.
We've got
etc.
classrooms
There are
made.
classrooms. There are other open spaces
Yes.
also where you can sit down and carry out your various activities that were done here. And that practice actually has really helped a lot of candidates, because we see a marked improvement in their performance.
The
By and by,
results.
yeah.
The
Every day they
confidence and
confidence
all those
level
things
definitely
improves.
goes up,
Feel-
even in the first week
Yeah,
itself.
yeah.
Because this month only we had almost for 17 candidates cleared.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
I mean, in spite of less intake in the SSBs.
Yeah, because it
Yeah.
is
Yes.
a lean period. Yeah, few people.
Last month we got almost
In
32.
fact, till
candidates
now
cleared.
we've already had about 175 odd clearances in this year,
Yeah.
Yes.
which is
And
a
in
fairly
that-
large
in
number.
that-
It's monumental.
In the RBC entry, we have nearly 80% clear.
Yes.
So he wants to know the
Last 2
fee
weeks.
structure. Ankit,
Website,
although everything is mentioned on the website, if you have a look. So the website is www.olivegreens.co.in. Right. So have a look at that website. We will also share the details in this space here. Just now, I'll ask somebody to share it here, since all of you can see it.
But how you can mention also?
So you can have a look at that, but otherwise, just for your knowledge, the tuition fee and the cost of study material is 17,000, and the cost of boarding, lodging, food, transportation, in fact even your laundry for 2 weeks program is 7,500.
Your bedding is also covered in that.
Yeah, everything.
Full bedding.
Everything.
The training is conducted at 2 places. We have an institute where we have large classrooms. They are fully air conditioned, and indoor training is taken there. Then we have a huge outdoor ground where you go for the ground or the GTO activities, and there's a bus which takes you there. So you have exposure in both the places, and there's enough to
And we
learn.
got a
Can we
lookalike
post-
SSB
can,
training
Can we
ground.
post the details of that
In
that
fact, for
saved
the
message,
defense
just post it.
personnels, we are giving some discount also on this amount. And for the war widows, like battle casualties, wards of battle casualties, even war widows, the training is free of cost as a tribute to the nation. We do that. But then let me tell you, we try to give a 100% shift of your personality, because ultimately when you go to the SSB, you should not register as a student again. You should be having the formal makeup of a gentleman cadet and a lady cadet. So this transformation should happen in your mind. That is the essence of this training program. That is why we don't do a coaching program. Coaching means spoon feeding your own mind with many answers from many solutions and many instructors trying to spoon feed the information to you. But we allow you to think yourself, act accordingly, use your own logical mind, and come to arrive at your own solutions. So we will give you the kind of platform where we cultivate the would-be future officers.
One very, very important point for those aspirants who wish to join Olive Greens is that, like Colonel Shokan just told you, that our endeavor is to, help you understand yourself better and understand the areas of your personality that require further grooming. Because after all, SSB is not an academic test. It is an evaluation of your personality. and hence once you get to know of those areas which you feel require improvement, naturally you need a lot of time to work on those areas. Let's say किसी को पता चलेगा मेरा अवेयरनेस लेवल इतना अच्छा नहीं है, किसी को पता चलेगा मेरे स्पीकिंग स्किल्स में इशू है, किसी को पता चलेगा इन अ वेरी एक्टिव ग्रुप आई टेंड टू स्टे इन द बैकग्राउंड, आई नीड टू बी मोर असर्टिव. तो आपको while you go through this program you'll get to know all those areas of your personality that needs further grooming, polishing. So unless you have time to work on those areas, the 2-week program will not benefit you really, because 2 weeks is by no means the end of your preparation. It is actually something to put you on the right track for your preparation. So unless you know कि भाई मेरा goal post उधर है, unless you have your path illuminated, reaching your destination will have to be done by you by putting in all that effort. So therefore we always recommend that after our 2 weeks program is over, it is always suggested that you should have at least 3 to 4 weeks with you before you go for your SSB, because only then you will fully benefit from this. क्योंकि आपको पता तो चल जाएगा क्या कमी है, लेकिन वो कमियों के ऊपर मेहनत करके इम्प्रूव करके उस लेवल तक जहाँ पे आपको पहुँचना है, अगर आप नहीं पहुँचोगे then the whole effort goes waste.
Yeah, so I want to clarify Amit's mind, Ankit's mind, because he said, can you help me clear? देखो, we can help you to understand yourself, we can help you to guide you what to do, but you have to do something about yourself. Now, there are some people, there are a lot of people who say, yes, we'll make sure that you clear it. Nobody can make sure. If somebody is saying that, he's making a fool of you. So you must understand, it's about your personality and the desirable level of attributes of a officer got to be there. So you have to work on those things. They cannot be artificially injected in you. So therefore, be prepared for some work. Have faith in yourself. अपने में भरोसा होगा, काम करोगे, improve भी होगा. Fine. कोई टॉफी तो नहीं दे सकता ना कि ये टॉफी खा जाओ ठीक हो जाएगा. So you have to work on yourself.
Not a medicine that आप खा जाएंगे so you become an officer. But then let me tell you what Colonel Chahal and sir was saying. You see, to streamline this process of further taking ahead this training program till such time you clear the SSB, what we do is immediately after the training program we put you into smaller groups of online platform. Like we give you say 6-7 की group बना देते हैं हम लोग और आपको online platform से comfortable platform these days we put you in that platform and we monitor your everyday training ahead. So you will do group discussions, group planning exercise also, lecture practice you do, PPDT practice also you do, and we monitor you and we are always with you on your as a moral support also, and anytime you got some doubts and all, we are always reachable, you are ready there, and we will also see that your progressive improvement is happening in your personality. This is how we find that we could improve our results, incredibly importantly happening this. So this is one thing you may like, because this training is not an event, this is a process. So we will follow up this process till such time you reach the SSB.
Alright, so should we get back to what we were discussing earlier?
The story.
So in case any of you all have written a story on those pictures which we shown you last time, you're most welcome to share it with us and we could discuss it right now. We could discuss it here. Otherwise, carrying that point forward, what we were discussing earlier about a marketplace. So the choice is yours as to who you want to become in that crowded place, and then you choose a purpose for your main character which is befitting your mental age, your maturity, your interaction with your ambient environment. So it should be something that you in a day-to-day life experience, and based on that you say, what could I do to make a small difference in this environment where I'm coexisting. So that is very, very important for you to understand that it is not really a story writing test, but you are portraying your attributes through the characters that you created in the story, and naturally those attributes, if they are seen in a manner which are in the acceptable zone by the assessors, you will be found the story to be an acceptable one. So because that is what you go to keep.
Normal tendency आजकल, since there is a lot of negative news around, that कि एक बार मार्केट प्लेस देख लिया तो माइंड गोस की तरह एक बॉम्ब ब्लास्ट होने वाला है,
कोई एक्सीडेंट हो जाएगा, शॉप में आग लग जाएगा,
ऊपर से नेकेड वायर कट के नीचे गिर गया, किसी को शॉक लग गया. So all these negative things may come into your mind, but that's your first thought. So So that is what we have been telling you. Don't go with the first thought. You have to mull over further schemes in the mind.
Not only that, lot of people have an idea कि भाई हमको कुछ problem create करना है.
हाँ.
Problem create करेंगे फिर इसको निकाल दे तो hero बन जाएगा उसके अंदर.
Yes.
So that is.
तो हीरोपंती नहीं चाहिए हमको. So instead of finding problems, what you need to find out is a
purpose, a
meaningful purpose. Yes. So mull over 2-3 ideas which is coming into your mind, and you must home on to a theme which is more familiar to you.
Absolutely.
That is what we always advocate, so that familiar theme पे जाके you can write a realistic original story where your action, what you have taken in that particular place to sort out this need created, is very realistic and connecting with your own personality.
Absolutely.
So it looks really natural and a glimpse of your own personality coming out.
And especially when you're talking about how you resolved that issue or how you worked on to make that little improvement or change, that has to be written so authentically that while the assessor is reading it, he should literally feel that yes, this person can do this.
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
Because unless you do that, otherwise,
convincing.
Otherwise it looks very, very borrowed kind of an idea and superficial, and somebody just copied it from here and there and pasted it there. So that has no meaning for him actually.
This is what generally we find when we were all there as selection board members. We used to discuss this problem every second day, because most of the time the candidate who are coming may be misguided by coaching academies. They keep on writing the same theme. Suppose say there is a marketplace, they got 4-5 themes which is created by the coaching academy. They come out with the same theme without any changes. Ditto same thing you will keep seeing, keep hearing. Even PPTT, the same story has been repeatedly told by students there. So that is how we come to a conclusion that this boy or this girl is not applying his or her mind. Then it becomes a coached candidate.
Yeah, because after all, they are trying to see you as a person.
Yes.
So if I can't see you in that picture, then
you are artificial.
Naturally that story has no meaning for the assessor.
So our assessment fails there, because then you are putting a mask in front of us and you are hiding behind that mask your personality. Instead of you exhibiting your personality, you are exhibiting your instructor's personality. So naturally, we will not be able to do
those typical stories of cleanliness drives and blood donation camp and
adult
education.
NGO is very common.
I know.
Yeah, see, one very when you create a problem, then you say they called the disaster management team. Then they went to the police, got help. See, all that is also already in its own place. But we would like to see at your level what would you have done?
Yes.
आपके लेवल पे क्या हो सकता है? They don't run to giving an application to the DC or going to the police. All that. See, I'm not saying that's wrong, but look at it that you can do at your level at this stage. That will be more appropriate, more creative.
So please, friends, what you should do is, if you want to be impressive at the SSB, come out with original themes. How do you come up with the original themes? By reading, understanding the world around
those
you.
Themes, actually.
Yes, you have to connect with your own atmosphere, create stories from your own ecosystem.
Absolutely.
Look around you. There will be a lot of actually, TAT themes around you, but we hardly see them because we are disconnected most of the time.
Being observant is useful.
Yes. You don't do that. That's the problem.
And being interactive also. Interactive.
Being interactive.
Inquisitive रहो, देखो क्या हो रहा है, क्यों हो रहा है, जाके बात करो with relevant people, and then you get to know what this is all about.
But unfortunately today, most of us, not only youngsters, everybody, we are always in a hurry. And we are always moving from one place to another. Most of the time, whatever time 5 minutes available, you are into your mobile. So naturally, you are cut off from the natural world. You are gone deep into the virtual world.
Absolutely.
Because of this reason also, you are not getting original themes in the mind. This is a very major issue.
In fact, it also makes socially these people, the present generation, I would say that those basic social graces which really nobody taught us, but we learnt it from the environment.
Yes.
मैं अभी बात कर रहा था, like in the GTO ground yesterday I was there. So there were about 50 people with me. But when the class got over, I was just telling Colonel Gadog and Colonel Shokan that out of those 50 people, only one girl while the task got over said, "Thank you, sir, we really enjoyed," or something like that. So this basic social graces are missing. Others just picked up their stuff, ke ho gaya, class khatam ho
Zombie
gayi,
jaise ho
वापस
gaya.
जाओ. So they have no connectivity with the person who spent this half day with you, doing things on ground with you. Maybe they were thankful from heart, but they don't exhibit that. They just picked up their stuff and they sat in the bus and they went off. So
not that we are expecting that
not
kind of
expecting,
courtesy,
but-
See,
but at the
that
SSB
is-
everything is seen.
It's not expecting, it is kind of a sanskar that you carry.
Yes.
That's what.
That's the kind of a grace that you carry in yourself. I mean,
yeah.
we don't expect that, but we feel good
Yeah.
when you find a person who's
Same
courteous,
happens in the SSB also. I mean, when that group is standing there, when the GTO walks up to that group in the morning, when he looks at those faces, वो शक्ल देख के from the enthusiasm, the way that person is taking pride in the way he's standing, the way he's dressed up, the way he loudly wishes, smiles, beaming face. तो उसमें out of those 10 people, you tend to have a little, you're a little charmed by that person who's has those
Absolutely right.
basic social graces.
And that
एक
cheer
बंदा
in the
ऐसे
face,
zombie की तरह
smiling
खड़ा है,
always.
smile भी नहीं कर रहा,
Why
ढीला सा
does
खड़ा
it
है.
happen? See, why does it happen? Because the mind is too much worried, hoga ke nahi hoga, self-doubt. All that results in negative energy in yourself, and that's what is seen on the face. After all, what is body language? Body language is an expression of what is inside you, your thoughts, emotions. If you're charged, if you're enjoying life, if you're grateful for what's happening, obviously your energy level will always be good. But if you're always worried, कि how should I do that? ये कैसे करूँ? वो कैसे करूँ? Obviously that is not the way. But energy has to come from within, and that has to be nurtured by good feelings, faith in yourself, giving your best. Don't worry too much about the result. That is what is
वही
important.
लगता है सबको कि it is like a academic test. They
Yeah,
feel,
yeah.
sir मैंने बड़े idea बताए, but
Yeah.
idea is not important.
Yeah.
It is you as a person who's important, who's performing through that task.
But there is a tendency to be larger than life. There is a tendency to exhibit that I am better than me.
Yeah.
That's a feeling. I was just reminded. There was a service entry group which we were discussing earlier. One of our boy got selected. He got selected, and they were all waiting to be called inside. So there was a group there. There were few selected candidates there, and सब हो गया. They have been very happy, and आपस में they have been very abusively talking. A lot of these normal these days. Casually, and they are normally abusive these days.
Yeah.
Some MCBCs. That's what I was heard. One lady GTO was passing by.
Right.
She's a lady. They didn't notice her. She just crossed over. They didn't even bother. So again they were shouting or loudly आपस में मजाक में कुछ गालियाँ गुलियाँ जो भी हो. This lady went inside and spoke to the president, and the complete team who were selected, 4 of them got
Washed out.
washed out. Because I see these guys don't deserve to be officers. Whosoever I am a lady passing by.
Yeah.
They got no social grace to
Yeah.
just stop at least for some time.
True.
They don't even bother I am passing by. So these were all drama what they were doing till today.
Yeah,
till now.
Yeah,
The real veneer is this. This is what they are.
Actually.
And the whole team got
Washed out.
yeah,
washed
these
out.
small things are important. Attitudes are important. I remember when we were there.
What a bad luck.
In 97, 98, there was a girls' batch which had come, and there was one girl who was good, outstanding, and she was doing very well, and she got recommended. But she was also a little overconfident, maybe a little because of the other girls were not so good. So she felt a little bossy in that. In the last day when the conference happened, she was being cleared by you all, but the president asked her about a few questions and how was the stay and where all did you go. She says we went to Allahabad, Sangam, this and that. Who all were with you? He asked, the president asked, Kon tha? So she says, sir, where's the doubt? My whole group went with me. Right. So the way she spoke, where's the doubt? It showed an element of arrogance in that.
Yes.
The board decided to leave her out.
A little casual.
Right. So that kind of thing is small things are attitudinal issues. You don't realize that you get too much enamored by yourself. It may not.
Especially
be
when you are a fence
yeah.
sitter.
Yeah.
There is a OJN who's got recommended.
Yeah,
He's
great.
just posted. Last week got recommended. So
Congratulations.
3 FSB Gandhinagar, AFCAT entry. Thanks OG.
Very nice.
Wonderful.
I can't read
What's his name?
Darpan Hindi में लिखा हुआ है. Darpan. Last
Artist
week was-
congratulations.
So
last week we had
we were
very
not
good
told by you then.
results,
Did he inform us?
We had very good
No, he
results,
hasn't.
yeah.
He hasn't. Do share your picture.
Congratulations.
Heartiest congratulations.
Great.
Yeah, I would also like you to share your experiences there. I mean, maybe you can come here sometime, speak to
Yeah.
people. It will be a good idea, right?
We will broadcast it. I mean, if you are
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
here.
Yeah, next Friday if you come, you can sit with us.
Yes, you can come and join
Yeah,
us here
actually, we'd like
in the
you to
next
do
live
that.
session.
Yeah,
we could do that.
absolutely.
That's a
We
good
could
idea.
do that if you have time.
That's a good idea.
Or at
yes.
least send your picture at
Yeah.
least so that we are.
We have,
we can
we-
share it with others then.
And we also we post our all successes mostly because many of them don't even tell us, but whoever tells us, at least we post in our page in Facebook,
Yeah.
Olive Green's page, and Insta we have a Olive Green Institute page, so we generally publish it. So you will find we are not just making numbers here; it is actually happening. So you can
They are
go
real
through
numbers.
them. These are real
They are real
numbers,
numbers.
not faking
And,
the numbers.
yeah.
Okay.
Good.
So
Really
nice
happy
that
with
one
it.
of you
So
only
nice
had
that
come
you
here.
Yeah.
mentioned it here.
That is great.
So happy.
Wonderful.
Very happy
for you. And also send us the GD topics notes so we can discuss.
Yeah.
Great.
So nice.
So you can talk about the action part in that picture.
I,
what we were
I was just
discussing.
mentioning that let's say if it was a picture where you have in a marketplace you picked up a shopkeeper as your main character, right? So like we just discussed that perhaps that shopkeeper found that because of a very unruly traffic and because of a little unhygienic conditions prevailing in that area, parking ka issue वगैरह, that the footfall in the market in that street reduced, right? So he felt that he should do something about it. So now what you got to do is that you got to suitably empower your main character. Only then he can do something. Otherwise he can do something only for his shop but not for the street.
Yeah.
So if we would like to empower him, we would maybe make him the marketing committee ka chairman, yeah, you could make him the union leader of the shopkeepers association of that street or something like that. And now you ask yourself, how should I go about making these improvements or making these small changes on the street? So whenever that you're writing the action part like we were just discussing, it should be very authentic. And how will it become authentic? When you put yourself into the shoes of your main
That
character.
person, yes.
When you become that person. So ask yourself, okay, bhai, if I am the shopkeeper here, I am the union leader of the shopkeepers association, अगर मेरे को इस street के ऊपर कुछ improvements लानी है, तो how do I begin? What should be my first step? What should be my second step? So like that, when you think, you will automatically get the right things in your mind. So let's say if I was the union leader, सबसे पहले मैं क्या करता? Perhaps I would call for a meeting of the shopkeepers in the evening,
Yes.
so that we could do some brainstorming and we could see that at our level what all small changes could we do, right? So we would sit down and we'll prepare a checklist of things that we could do and things for which we may require the help of the authorities, right? So you could then list out some of those things that you could do. For example, as a group of shopkeepers, you could maybe divide the areas in front of your shops that you would keep clean. You could decide, भाई अपना अपना area demarcate कर दो, उसके अंदर you will be responsible for it.
Many times you will find parking spaces cluttered with people.
Absolutely.
Oh,
you know
better
where.
parking.
So maybe you could suggest that our own shopkeepers, own people could post these to park our own vehicles at a pre-designated area, so that we vacate the space which is there available in front of
For
the shops,
the
so that there is
customers.
space is created. Or maybe we could even hire a security guard or something
Yes.
who would align the transport
And
of
streamline the traffic.
customers and streamline the movement, right?
The market in and out.
Some
There
kind
is
of-
a system of.
Then ask yourself,
yeah.
what else besides the parking? Maybe to improve the hygiene conditions, maybe we could hire some more safai karamcharis who could clean the drains and make sure that there is no water logging and there is no flies, etc. We could do those spray of DDT, etc., etc. Then once you've talked about some actions that you could do at your level, maybe what else you could do is that there is a lot of encroachment done by the shopkeepers. They put their stuff, their boards, their things outside, which apparently makes the road smaller. So you could take a collective decision कि भाई हम अपनी shop के बाहर कुछ ऐसे सामान display नहीं करेंगे, so that apparently the road becomes wider. So these would be certain things that you could think at your level. Now no harm in also co-opting or taking the help of the authorities. Now you could suggest that we could go with the proposal to the traffic police inspector of the beat and request him that maybe you could deploy some additional constables here who would regulate the traffic better. Maybe during peak hours of the day we could make this road one way or something. Maybe you could request the municipal corporation to ensure that the emancipation of the waste is more regular, the disposal of the waste is done more regular, so that the area remains clean. So when you start thinking as a person who's sitting there, you will realize that the actions that you write will be more authentic. So
I remember, this same contest. I remember, I was reading sometimes. In Bangalore, there was a group, anonymous group, called Ugly Indians. So I was reading about them. They are all anonymous to each other mostly IT youngsters hoga. They decided we will assemble at so and so time in so and so area, which is very cluttered and littered.
Anonymous.
And they assemble in the night, and by morning they clean up the place.
And they vanish.
And they just vanish. So unceremoniously they come and clean a street.
Absolutely.
Even they put dustbins also there,
Yeah.
with a request, please use this dustbin.
Yeah.
And there is no publicity, nothing. They just assemble with their group effort.
These are day-to-day
So-
things that we see,
so,
observe.
You
and
see,
we-
now it just came to my mind because this is also a beautiful story to connect
Yeah.
with such a scene.
Correct.
So knowledge makes.
And when you step out, you see things. I mean, I will
Yeah.
tell you about, there was a when I was driving by, there was a wall on which लिखा हुआ था मदद की दीवार, and on that there people had अपने कप जो used clothes थे, woolens
yeah,
थे,
wonderful.
they were just hanging there or leaving it there for people
Somebody
to come
will
and
use
collect.
it.
I mean, somebody just thought of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely good.
There is a huge koti in sector 9, I think, where they've deployed a cooler inside,
Oh.
Yeah.
और उसका outlet they've given it
बाहर-
outside
बाहर पानी
on the
के
car
लिए.
park,
What a
so that
beautiful thought.
people on their way can,
Yeah,
rickshaw
So
walas
if
and
you're
that.
curious to know your environment, you catch up these things.
Yeah, you
it can
keep
be
your
used
eyes
as a
open,
beautiful
yeah.
TAT
Keep your eyes
themed,
open.
stories.
Yeah.
These are all very beautiful thing. And I was
Simran has asked a question. Simran has asked.
Yeah, Darpan is from the Air Force, the one who's cleared, and he will be visiting us.
Oh, great.
We look forward to that. Simran says, will their courses be after the FCAT? Yes, Simran, we run regular courses right
Throughout
through the
the
year.
year.
Right through the year.
Every
we
Monday,
start a
every
batch.
Monday, entire year.
So in 1 year, there are more than 700 courses we start, and 2 weeks duration. You can choose to come anytime.
And mind you, we don't have faltu festivals here. Okay, we
Festivals are good, but we don't
They
have holidays.
celebrated, they
Diwali,
celebrated,
Holi.
they celebrated in the institute. Yeah.
Because this is to remind you, in every kind of festivities, army is vigil. We do our
Yeah, so
job.
we
We don't stop our
Even on
training,
Diwali,
Yeah.
Holi,
Yes.
Dussehra, whatever,
We-
we
we-
are
irrespective
working.
of religion.
in our work we celebrate with some additional sweets.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
that's all.
Yeah.
Good, nice interacting with you all. We'll have 1 or 2 more questions. So before we close by a few issues more on the discussion. Let's PPT. Let's finish that today.
Yes.
So we talked about the picture. Next part of the picture is your narration. You could narrate your story well, because when you narrate the story, the 3 assessors listen to you. Also, the group also listen to you, and they have an idea. So therefore, in a group, you'll find there 3-4 types of ideas, which allows you to discuss, to make a common story. It's good to be speaking well, confidently, clearly, and also listening to each other. The last part is the discussion in the PPT, where good participation is important, which is we're looking at your interpersonal skills, we're looking at your teamwork, and therefore nice participation in the discussion of 10 to 12 minutes or 15 minutes, whatever is given to you, is important. A lot of people who hesitant, shy, they keep waiting for their turn to speak, they can't speak, and the time gets over. Right? You have to be active in the discussion
Early entry.
right from the beginning.
Yeah, during the discussion, a few things that you must always keep in your mind is that many candidates say, sir, हमारे को 3 ही मिनट दिए. So it is not 3 ही मिनट दिए, आपको लगा 3 ही मिनट मिले, because the discussion is at such a high tempo and there is so much of chaos that before you can say,
There
Jack
is a high
Robinson,
energy level.
the time is over. So therefore, please try and be an early entrant into the discussion. Also, very, very important is choosing the right time to make an entry. A lot of people make an entry when the noise level is very, very high. So naturally, they are not heard, or they feel that they are not being heard by others. So therefore, it is important to see that when the noise level is slightly dipping, that is the time you should make an entry. And of course, draw attention before you speak by saying something like, I would like to add a point, or so make sure that you draw attention before you speak. Even then the candidates may not keep quiet, but you basically drawing this attention for the assessors to know that you're about to say something now. So probably they'll be a little more focused towards you.
But remember, unless you have not heard each other's story very well,
Yeah, very, very
you will
important
not be
point.
able to speak any points, because
Absolutely.
what happens in the SSB, most of the coach candidates we have seen, they keep on talking about their own story only, because they have not listened to any other stories. So they got nothing to speak except their own story. So this will create a feel that you are stubborn and adamant on your own point, you are not listening to others. That will give a very poor impression about yourself. So what you need to do is, from the beginning itself, be ready to accept the common theme. Once you have written the story, you have narrated the story, the importance and the relevance of your story is not much now. Though you can give 1 or 2 points, whatever you thought, but without wasting time, you should be able to home on to the common theme emerging. You should be clever enough to do that, and you have to take it ahead for a logical conclusion of a common theme and a common story. So what all you now say, it should be constructive in nature, should not be pulling the main theme from the from the normal course of action. ऐसे नहीं होना चाहिए कि आप ही कुछ बोल रहे हो, आप पूरा ग्रुप को किसी जगह पे खींच के अपनी स्टोरी की तरफ ले जा रहे हैं. That will go against you. Please remember this.
Carrying the team along is very, very important. So see which side the center of gravity is going. One must shift accordingly.
Where the tide is
and
moving.
logically
the time is less.
and logically contribute to that in your own way.
Absolutely.
This is very important, and then give a conclusion.
And also remaining connected is very, very important. A lot
Very
of people,
important, very
they just want to speak without listening to others or without.
And then they say, ki, sir, we have spoken a lot, but we didn't get
मौका
it.
नहीं मिला.
So we had no entry.
That's not correct.
He remembers Colonel Chahal. Colonel Chahal also
thank you.
remembers you fondly.
God bless you.
Let's have some more inputs.
Yeah, say something
So,
now.
so therefore, So-
it reminds me of that, battery commander सब आपको याद कर रहे हैं.
हम भी बहुत याद कर रहे हैं.
so as we now come to the conclusion, we'll just remind you once again: be updated, read what is happening, keep current affairs को update करते रहो. Practice to speak. A lot of you are very hesitant to speak. Practice to speak. Where possible, make groups and have discussions on important issues as you prepare for your coming to us. The results are coming. We're looking forward to a lot of people coming us in the next couple of weeks. So as you come, prepare yourself.
That's very, very important actually.
General awareness, speaking skills. Do start writing something on your own. Right. So therefore, you are a little tuned to make use of this 2 weeks. Otherwise, 2 weeks will finish very quickly. But you need to be preparing now.
Yeah.
And after 2 weeks also, you should be having some time to improve on those things.
Please strengthen your baseline.
Yeah, because
then
if
come
your
to it.
awareness level is not good, then
Yeah.
actually during a GD you will not have quality
Points
inputs
to
to
speak.
give. Interview ke andar you won't be able to answer those questions.
Then you also
with the-
feel that insufficient.
yeah, you feel कि मेरे से तो होगा ही नहीं. So you feel
हाँ.
actually it is bad for your confidence if you are not fully prepared. Like both of them are saying, it is
Yeah.
very important. हमारी तरफ से सिर्फ 3 requirements हैं आपकी. First, make sure that you are absolutely well averse with whatever is going on around you. देश दुनिया में जो चल रहा है, work on your current affairs and work on your journal awareness.
So many
That
things
is
are happening now.
Very, very important. Second is, please work on your speaking skills. A lot of people do have issue of spoken English sometimes, or some people are unable to articulate their thoughts very clearly while speaking. So it's very important to work on that. Form a group of small 2-3 people also and discuss important issues. And the third thing which we are expecting out of you is your writing skills. So a lot of you all are unable to complete your dossier because you tend to write in a haphazard, jumbled up manner. The flow of your thoughts is not adequate. So please make sure that you every day work on your creative writing. Write something every day and improve your own draft. उसको काट पीट के improve करो कि भाई ये sentence का syntax अगर ऐसे लिखूं तो ये बेहतर हो जाएगा. ये word की बजाय ये word use करता तो better clarity is there in this. So every day do some kind of a writing practice. So 3 चीजें आपसे expected हैं. Journal awareness बहुत अच्छी, speaking skills as much as you can improve, and writing skills as much as you can.
One thing more I would like to add on: your physical fitness and mental fitness.
Yeah.
You should not be obese. If at all you are there, nothing to worry. You start working on it. You must
Yeah.
start running.
Because that will
little
take
bit of
time
tuning
for you
your
to
mind.
become
It takes
fit.
time.
Yeah.
And mental and physical fitness is
So
also
now we
important.
totally
Very,
geared.
very important.
We totally geared to get a lot of people for NDA, CDS, FCAT results is coming. So next couple of months will be Very happy to have you all as many here and to benefit from this kind of training. With that, I close today's session. Thank you a lot very much.
Thanks
And
a
see
lot.
you guys
God bless
next
all.
week. Okay?
See you soon.
See you soon next week.